down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
What's going on, Savvy investors? You tuned in to the Savvy Radio Show, and right now I'm in the middle of changing, growing, basically understanding, trying to find out who I am and what I like to do and who I want to work with and all that other fun, fabulous jazz. And what gets me excited, period, and I hope that you can find excitement in something that you found, but for me, it is working with entrepreneurs. Seriously, I could sit for days on days just hanging out with entrepreneurs, just the way they think, what they're doing, their goals, their dreams, their aspirations, what, where, and why, and what are they doing, and what's coming out, and what problems. You know, that's what entrepreneurs do. They solve problems and they get paid. What entrepreneurs do is take risks and get paid. I just love the concept, and I hope that you do too. And today's podcast is kind of dedicated to the OGs, the entrepreneurs out there. And you know, you as a real estate investor, if you tuned in, this is your first time, you are an entrepreneur. You're taking risks. Now, your mentality, your mindset may not be the cut the same thread or have that same mindset, but you know, I would say you would be a real estate entrepreneur. How's that? So let's dive in. I was hanging out with somebody, an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur. I wouldn't say young. He's probably my age. He came from a different arena, and we connected somehow through mountain biking, which is even more bicycling, not even mountain biking. And he asked me this random question. And he, after a couple of times of hanging out and chatting and maybe a couple hours, he found out that I was a coach. He found out that I've written some books. He found out that I'm entrepreneurial. And he finally just kind of opened it up, and we were talking about his business and where it came from and how we got started. It's just a phenomenal story. Hopefully one day I'll have him on the radio show. You know, you got to ease into people and, you know, hey, come on the radio show. Hey, if you want to be on the radio show, I'm down, you know. But I didn't want to just overwhelm the dude. But he hit a chord in my world that I want to share with you. And I thought this was interesting. And he's like, he knew that I've coached a lot of people for the last 10 years. And he's like, and I rewrote this question. Basically what he said is like, what do you see in entrepreneurs that they struggle with, or what their difficulty is, or what's holding them back? I think that's the better way to say it. So if you're an entrepreneur, and what's holding you back? Like, what is it that's holding you back, right? I mean, and I was like, you know, that's a really good question. So I just threw up on a piece of paper, and let's dive in. Number one, I think that they don't ask for help. And everything I'm about to say is me. So, and you, hopefully you could relate, you know, if you could relate to this, you know, let your boy know, holla at me, say, hey, I struggle with that too. And it boils down to this. Number one, they don't ask for help. Boom. Is it pride, arrogance, what, ignorance? What's the deal? I don't know why. I think it's ingrained in us, our belief system from childhood, from school. You raise your hand, you're wrong, or you feel inferior. Something's wrong with you because you don't know something, and you don't want to tell people you don't know something, so you don't ask. That is the number one problem. And the people that I coach, they harbor things, they don't know things, is because they didn't ask. You've got to ask for help. You don't know everything. It's impossible, and that's okay. But whatever you are good at, stick with that and find the other people that you need help with, all right? So if you want to be a superstar entrepreneur, period, that's what I want to be. I want to be the very best entrepreneur in my sphere, whatever I'm touching, whatever I'm doing. If you don't know how to read a financial statement, ask for help. There's so many resources out there. So that's number one. They don't ask for help. Number two, they're insecure, or they lack a skill or confidence in raising money. Like, they have an idea, but they don't know where to begin to ask to raise money. And it's just so funny that this is all coming into fruition in my own world, that I just wrote a book called Be the Bank, and it's coming out. And the goal of the bank is for you to not read the bank yourself, but to give the book away to someone else that has money so they can understand that they could loan you money, entrepreneur, to do what you do best, make more money and solve problems. But you've got to understand it's normal to be insecure and not lack of confidence in your business, right? They don't teach you these things. These are all self-taught. You've got to put the work in. You've got to work on your confidence. You've got to work on your credibility kit. I just love coaching people in private money because when they get it, it's unstoppable. There's nothing you cannot do. Money is a tool you need to succeed. And if you don't ask, you don't get. Simple biblical principle. I love asking for money. I love paying people to use their money, aka interest. It is a transaction. It is a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. You're greater because you have more money than me? No. We can connect together and help each other. It's beautiful. Okay? Don't be that individual. Don't be insecure and if you lack some skill, that's fine. You get confidence, that's fine. You should get confidence just listening to this podcast. Go ask for money. Call me. Let me know. Number 3, the entrepreneur that doesn't leave their network. It is complacency, period. You've got to get new friends. You've got to move on. You can't stay in the same place that you were. It's impossible. You either going forward or you're going backwards. And if you're stagnant, you're dying. It's simple. We're all going to die. So you might as well get going. You might as well move forward. Get out of your old network. If you're still kicking it with your homeboys, you know this. We've heard this 1,000. You're the result of the 5 people you hang with. If you ask the 5 close of your friends what their pay is or what their net worth is, you're probably within line. The only way you're going to get out is get new friends and drop the old ones. Grow, become different, make a change. I literally just listened to Jim Rohn the other day. I haven't listened to him in a long time. And you don't have the next 5 years could be different from the last 5 years. You're not committed to acting this way anymore. Start making the decisions that you're going to be a better person. Start making the decisions that you're going to get on your taxes better, or you're going to understand financial statements. What's a balance sheet? These things that you know you should be learning, but you're not doing them because you're ignorant about them. That's fine. That's normal. That happens, but you can change that. You can make a decision in the next 6 months should be a totally different person than you were. Number 4, I see that most entrepreneurs struggle with systems. Not most. I think the baller entrepreneurs do systems. Like I just love systems. I want to do it once. I want to perfect the system, and it's organic. I used to be too disciplined, too perfectionist. And now I'm working in the accounting firm, and we're constantly working on our onboarding system. We're constantly changing it. And I came up with another idea today to come up with an onboarding process, like just an experience. What happens when you hire an accounting firm? These are the things that go down. And it's more of an educational aspect, but that's a system, and it's labor intensive, and you've got to get excited about it because I know this system that I'm going to create, which is awesome that you're creating something out of thin air that is going to give someone on the receiving end an experience, which hopefully they will refer or tell people about it. But you created that system, and it usually goes on for infinity, for indefinite, forever. And it's just, I just know this for a fact. I started a DJ company in 1992. Dadgum, 30-something years ago, started a DJ company, and the guy that owns it now is a super baller. Like, this dude just eclipsed me. He just took it to the way big level, as big as you can get, I think. Maybe even bigger. I mean, I guess you can go nationwide or whatever. But in Oklahoma City, the dude's killing it. But he still runs the exact same system that I wrote in 1992. My drip campaign, you guys call it a drip campaign with email, but I called it a postcard. I called it a letter. And then I went into the PDF. But the system, the verbiage, because weddings don't change. Like, you're getting married, there's an emotional attachment. But that system that I created 30 years ago works today. Now, has it been modified? Absolutely, it should be. It should be up to time. I remember everyone that called the office in 1992, I would mail them a whole folder, glossy, with brides on there, and your wedding is going to... I was selling an intangible. I was selling a dream. And how do you... Dream is not tangible. It's a mindset. It was just... I'm telling you, owning a DJ company changed my life. The success is rooted in my career today from that experience. But it's always been built on systems. You're going to struggle as an entrepreneur if you can't dial in on systems. There's a system when the phone rings. There's a system of processing, of getting paid, of invoicing, accounts receivable, accounts payable. I have all those systems in place so I can scale and do more. Someone needed to hear that today. Is that you? Beep, beep, honk your horn, beep, beep. Let them know that you know that where you're struggling, what's holding you back is because you haven't defined a system, you haven't created a system, and you're going to go do it right now. Stop what you're doing and go do it. If you can't do it, that's fine. You hire a coach to kind of give you some guidance. I tell you, it only takes one session for this. But if you really don't want to do it, and it is labor intensive, just outsource it. There's so many gifted people out there, and I love working with them. And I have 3 of those folks in my world today. I give them an idea, I give them a concept, what I want to get accomplished, and they create a system, and it's epic. Yes, is it perfect? 90% of the time, it works. And that's all at this time in your career as an entrepreneur to scale, to make more money, to move forward. It's got to work. That's it. Make a system. Number 5, awareness of building their business and their house is burning down. Ooh, I know I can't articulate this right. What I'm saying is like you're so focused as an entrepreneur on your business, on the income, the payroll, and you're forgetting about what the whole purpose of all of this is. In my case, and probably for you, is for your family. You're unaware of knowing when to stop and when to go home, and not letting economic situations or clients determine your family's success or failure. You've got to take the responsibility and you've got to make it happen. I just see a lot of entrepreneurs just continue to work 16 hours a day for a month straight, and they wonder why that they're having difficulty in their relationships, or their daughter doesn't understand them, or doesn't like them anymore, or their marriage is in a disarray. You've got to build that in. That's what I see with entrepreneurs, and it's a struggle for me too. I'm a worker, man. I want to work. I want to build businesses. I want to make them work. I want to go to the next level. What is the next level? That's another one. And that rolls into number 6. Some entrepreneurs lack long-term vision. I'm telling you, I was talking to an entrepreneur yesterday. I was like, yo, you got to think, what is this business going to look like in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? I know for sure 9 years and 10 years from now, I probably won't even be living in Oklahoma City. I'll probably have a presence here. But I really want to venture off and see the East Coast and the mountains. And then I want to be, in the summer, I want to be near a beach. I want to be warm. So I know this, and I am striving for this, right? I'm not complacent. I'm just going to live in Oklahoma until I die. You lack long-term vision. Admit it. And how can you overcome that? How can you fix that? How can you start working on that? But I just think you got to have a vision. Simple biblical principle. If you don't have a vision, you die. Number 7, accepting that not an update today could be good enough for the skill set. Accept that you're not up to snuff. Okay, I've accepted this in my own personal life. What I'm writing here is like you're oblivious to what's going on around you on social platforms, meaning like TikTok is extremely powerful, or Bumble, or these resources, or what your staff is watching and needing. I think that is a conflict as an entrepreneur, that you're not aware of what's going on. Like, for example, what I'm trying to say is in my accounting firm that we are remote, okay? And the entrepreneur that I was hanging out with the other day, he has employees, and he has an employee engagement. And I really have engagement on Zoom. And so my partner's a baller. She really pushes us to get together and do quarterly lunch and learns, or just human being connection. That's where I think entrepreneurs are sometimes they're just so laser focused, which is great, which is you should be. But you got to step back sometimes, step to the side sometimes, and be aware that there needs to be something else going on here. Like, for example, I'm unaware of HR behavior. I get at my office, there's certain things you can't say. I didn't really realize that. And I mean, it's not that I'm hurting someone, but I'm not educated. I'm not aware about HR and the whole scope of that and how it works and having employees, because I really never truly had employees at this point. I usually like contractors and outsourcing. And so it's just interesting. And so I'm unaware. Now I need to be aware. That's one thing that you need to know. Number 8, let go of the many hats that you wear. Like if you're doing everything, sales, marketing, recruiting, product development, listen, there's got to be a time that you got to get out of that rut and drop those hats and find someone to pick those hats up and get dialed in on what you're really, 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 really good at. And what is that? And what is your passion about that? And I know, oh man, VanCauwenbergh, I heard this before. I hear you. Listen, the way to find that information is take some time, relax, and just sit down with a pad and paper and think and get the noise out of your head, and it will come to you. So far, so good. Come on. Number 9. You need to get smashed sometimes to grow. You may get it from a stranger. It's just going to make you better. It could be from a coach, okay? And of course, I keep bringing this up. I don't know why. But like when I met this entrepreneur, I've only met him twice in these transactions. And I was like, I just spoke life into him and basically kind of smashed him. And I didn't mean to. But sometimes you need to hear these things, and maybe from a stranger, you really need to heed those and make those changes so you'd become better. Okay? Just be open to that. Be open to some advice, some criticism, some direction. And it may not be ultimately you, but you need to be willing to grow. And here's the point that I wrote about this. I wrote that you never see your own value. It was just amazing. It was amazing the interaction that I had with this entrepreneur, because I really kind of slapped him a little bit. Like, these are the things that you need to be doing. Like, who am I? I don't even know this guy. I've only met the guy 2 times, maybe spent a total of 2 hours. And I just try to speak life into him. And he goes, I go, hey man, it was good I texted him. I said, hey man, it was good to spend time with you today. And he said, Steve, it was you have tremendous wisdom. And it's just funny. I don't see that value. And the reason why that he wrote that is because I just read a lot more books and I've just experienced a lot more entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs are on their own island. A lot of people don't understand them. Their spouse usually doesn't understand them. They're usually alone, thinking about things all day, how to make money, how to make things better. And then another entrepreneur comes by, me, random, and I'm beating this dude up, smashing him in a positive way. And what happens? He thinks that's wisdom, and that's value that I'm bringing. Sometimes as entrepreneurs, we're just forgetting that we have this value that we're bringing to the marketplace. That's how you get paid. You get paid by bringing value to people. Maybe it be by a product. Maybe it be by a service. Whatever the case may be, but you're bringing value. You need to understand that as an entrepreneur, accept that, believe that. You bring value. And you may not have a degree, or you may think you're not an engineer and you are, or whatever the case may be, but you are bringing value to someone. And accept that. Understand that. That's number 10. You have to see your own value. What do you bring to the marketplace? What's your skill set? I had a pause there. Think about it. Slow down. What value can you do? In me, it's so easy for me to be an entrepreneur And someone who's not an entrepreneur, but that's value to them. They see that. Okay. It could be simple as writing a letter for someone or changing out a light bulb. I'm serious. You have to see your own value. All right. So that was 10. And here's just some random thoughts I had, and I can go on and on about this. If this is a subject that you want more of, let me know. If you maybe we should just do a whole entrepreneur podcast. I don't know. I don't know where I'm doing. I don't know what I'm going. I'm just trying to be faithful, trying to crank out the best podcast I can at the moment. And I'm changing and I'm growing and I want to be the very best and I want you to be the very best. So if I can provide something for you that you're in need of, and I know I'm going to kick back to the real estate. I know we went over goals this last 3 sessions, and now we're on this. I'm telling you, I'm trying to get back into real estate. I am in real estate. With the content for you. Maybe I should go over this acquisition I'm in. Let me know what subjects you want me to cover that can help you. But here's some final thoughts of entrepreneurism in general. Number 11, I guess you could say fear, but to overcome fear, a lot of this stuff is based on fear. A lot of people don't want to be an entrepreneur because they're fearful, or they don't want to do something because they're going to be fear to fail, whatever. Fear. F and fear, okay? The only way you're going to beat fear is by faith. You got to have faith. And it's easy for me because I'm a Christian, because I believe in Matthew 6. The God's going to take care of me, okay? So it's just like I got faith. I have faith in this thing called God. But here's the deal. You got to have faith in yourself to overcome the fear. You got to have faith that that transaction or that money you're going to raise, and it may not work out, but I have faith that there'll be someone else that will loan me the money. It'll be another banker that will loan me the money. Or right now in this market, there'll be another acquisition. There will be another deal. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there always will be another deal. I know this for a fact. I've been doing this game for 20-something years. Trust me, you may not be getting deals right now. You may need to tweak your marketing. You may need to hang around better people. You may need to try something new. But there always will be deals. You're just not trained to find them or correct what you're doing right now. But you got to have faith. You got to ask the hard questions. If you're still doing TurboTax and you're an entrepreneur, there's something wrong with you. Stop being fearful, stop being lazy, and go hire a professional. And whatever, I love hiring a lawyer right now. I just hate that bill. Okay? You can't expect to know everything. You must learn, you must read, you must study, and you need a friend to help you with this life. I'm fortunate that I have friends, and I am, and they're there's a short amount of them. Okay, not a lot of people like me. I don't know why. Maybe I'm too hard. Maybe I'm too honest. I don't know. Maybe I'm fat. Maybe I don't know. I'm broke. I don't know. Maybe I'm not in the billionaire club. I want to be a better friend. Okay, find a friend, be a better friend. Another thing you need to be aware of, this dude I was helping the other day, he still does TurboTax. I'm like, first of all, he's a millionaire and he still does TurboTax. I realized that he's only motivated by pain. It's easy. But see, he doesn't understand that he's losing so much money by using TurboTax. He thinks he's making money because he's not paying taxes, but he's not doing it properly because he doesn't have the right financials to scale or to grow, to make a financial statement. He does not have one. He's a millionaire and he doesn't have one. How many millionaires are out there? You'd be surprised. I coach a lot of them. They don't have financial statements. And they wonder why they're still paying, or they're still, making $70,000 a year, or really making $150,000. They really could be making $300,000 a year, and they could be buying a lot more assets or bigger assets if they got their finances in gear. But why? Why? Because you're only motivated by pain. Stop being motivated by pain. Be motivated by pleasure. You change because you're in pain. You got sued, you're in pain. No. Find the pleasure. I want to become a 10 millionaire or whatever the case may be. Find pleasure in, hey, I'm going to be the very best, whatever. You're hurting yourself because you're ignorant. Ooh, come on. I don't know where these words came from. I wrote these down in a lick. It took me 10 minutes to write this outline. Someone needs to hear that. You're hurting yourself because you're ignorant. You're hurting yourself because you're ignorant because you don't know your finances. You're hurting yourself because you're doing taxes on your own and you should be hiring a professional. Fix it. Here's another one. Entrepreneurs. Now, you need to learn to talk to yourself. You need to talk to yourself and say, you can do it. I think that's why I'm successful as a coach. I just say, you can do it. Like, there's no reason why you can't. Only you are holding you back. Stop it. Fix it. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Grow. Become bigger, better, whatever the case may be. Okay? Talk to yourself. I like myself. I love myself. I'm going to do this deal. It's going to work. It's going to be worth it. Listen. And my final one is listen to your gut. You know, a friend told me this that was really powerful, and I was in a deal, and I haven't talked about this deal, kind of barely, but I was in another deal, a $19 million deal, and it blew up in my face relatively quickly. Like, this dude got mad at me about some financing, and I was like, hey, man, we can't do this deal because these things are not in line. And, you know, and it was still kind of only a month in the deal. And the guy, a friend of mine that was sitting shotgun on the deal with me, kind of just watching how this transaction's happening, and he goes, thank God you know now. This is how they do business. And I was like, man, that has sat with me in a powerful way. You never know. Now, that friend that told me that, he has no idea that he impacted my life from that one statement. Hey, it's a simple, obvious answer. But see, that friend of mine brought huge value in my life. And I know that for a fact because I'm willing to be aware of my weaknesses. And before, there's been other business transactions I've been involved in, several partnerships, where I just turned the other cheek, I guess, or looked the other way. But I knew I had a gut feeling. You need to learn to listen to yourself and also listen to my friends. It's fascinating when a friend gets out of my network or another friend flies in from California and says, hey man, that person, I don't feel comfortable with them. And I'm like, why? He's blank, blank, blank. There's something there. Listen to them. You don't have to completely accept everything what people say or do. And you really need to listen. You need to slow down and listen to what people are saying to you. How is this relationship materializing? And just become a better person. Hopefully this helped you. Hopefully that you're an entrepreneur. We need more entrepreneurs in this world. That's how this makes this world run. If we're all on government assistance, who pays for this? The entrepreneur creates jobs, creates products and services to empower this world, to empower people, to provide jobs. I'm honored to be an entrepreneur, to provide jobs for people. It's amazing. Even you as a real estate, remember, entrepreneur, we talked about it in the beginning, that when you are remodeling a house, rehabbing a property, or even doing an acquisition, you're employing people. The title company, you're employing them. That $300 fee or $100 fee or $15, whatever the fee is, you're employing people. That's entrepreneur. When you hire a contractor, you're providing for that family. Don't take it lightly. Take it serious. Go through these again. Re-listen to this podcast. If it impacted you in any way, let me know. If you really want to go to the next level, go buy assets that can provide for you and for other folks. My name's Steve VanCauwenbergh. You tuned in to the Savvy What? Radio show, podcast. Go to savvypodcast.com. Leave me a message. Let your boy know. Write me a review. That would be an honor. Other than that, be a good human.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter @LandlordBook and always be buying assets.